Zayda. Okay, that was quick, Pertz. Quick on the draw.
I gotta go to work.
Why?
Oh, New Year's. New Year's. I hear you. We have a minion on? Oh, we got a minion. Okay.
Hey, Lando.
Missed you today,
Yeah,
Naftali.
sorry to disappoint. I'm still alive.
Okay. We'll take it.
Is he sick?
Okay. So where do we leave off? We were in the middle of this long shakavataya back and forth of who the Tana of our Mishnah is, whether it's Rabbi Yehuda or a mayor, and whether if you hear the Megillah or a Cherish that reads the Megillah, meaning somebody who's deaf, so the Megillah can't go to his ears. So he's really potter. So the question is would he be yotz if he reads the Megillah himself, or if he reads it for others? So the machlokes as well is whether it's a Yehuda or a mayor, and whether when the Mishnah says that you're not allowed chutz micher shoyt v'kana, was it saying that as a lichatchila, or was it saying that as a bidieved? Yeah, so let's go. Let's start from around 10, 12 lines up from the bottom. It says V'dilma kul Rabbi Yehudi, right? Yeah, we have it. I think no, it's more like 10 to 15 lines up. Yeah. So V'dilma kul Rabbi Yehudi. Really, maybe the whole Mishnah is Rabbi Yehuda. Betray gavne katan katanilan. There's two types of katans. There's something missing from the Mishnah. They say after a kol ksher, and like it says the Megillah, everybody's kosher to read the Megillah, chutz micher shayt b'katan, except for a deaf and a shayt and a katan. That's only by a katan that didn't reach chinuch. But a katan that reached the age of chinuch, even lechatchila, he's allowed to read the Megillah. Rabbi Yehuda machshav a katan, because Rabbi Yehuda holds that a katan is mutter. Right, so really we're going to combine the Reisha and the Sefer. Right, so the Gemara says, "B'mayu kibtos," and then if that's the case,
He's allowed to read for other people.
What are you saying?
Why didn't you just say he could read for himself? How do you know he's allowed to read for other people?
No, it's. Are you asking how you know it's for other people, or
No, is he allowed just because he could read for himself? Who says he could read for other people? Maybe because it's a sneeze, but a lady might read for men. Well, then she could, but we don't. I don't know.
Right. So that's exactly the shaila, whether he's allowed to. If he's yaitza, so then he's allowed to. Then he would be mitzi others. If he's not yaitza bidieved, then that's I think that's good for the shaila. No, that is good for the shaila. Right now, the Mishnah, we're about 10 lines up. We're up to B'mayu Kimtu. Yeah? Meaning now...
Your Testament base.
Your Testament base, yeah, thank you. Yeah, B'mayu Kimtu. Right? So I'm saying right at this point, right, the Gemara is saying is that the Cheresh is only lechatchila. He's not Yotzeh, but bidieved. And if he's for himself and for others, he's going to be Yotzeh. Right, and then also the machlokes based on that. The machlokes in Rabbi Yehuda and Rabbi Yossi is only in a bidieved situation, right?
Yeah, why would the Cherish be reading along like we're supposed to do?
Why wouldn't it mean what I mean? He reads along with somebody else.
Right.
No, but that's the whole shaila. If he's deaf, he's potter.
So you're saying how it's being potter?
Right, so he's reading, yeah. So he's reading, what's he going to do? Right? Something stuck in my throat. It's not a COVID cough. At least I don't think so. Yeah. Okay. So now anyway, so Gemara says, "B'mayu kimtik Rabbi Yehuda." So who are you saying the Mishnah is like? Rabbi Yehuda, bidieved, and we're talking about a bidieved, meaning it's only an bidieved, right? But even lechatchila, Rabbi Yehuda's mother shouldn't do it. And if that's the case, Elahad, Rabbi Yehuda, brother of Shimon Hazi. Rabbi Yehuda, the son of Shimon Hazi, said, "Cheresh hamadaber bein shemeya." Tayrim lechatchila. So we know there's such a mitzvah. There's a mitzvah to do to be mafresh truma. So let's say, so a cheresh is potter like everything else. So let's say you have a cheresh who speaks but he doesn't hear. So he's allowed to give truma lechatchila. So who's that like? Money. Rabbi Yehuda bidieved in lechatchila. If it's like Rabbi Yehuda, he only says bidieved a cheresh can be yaitza. And Rabbi Yosi bidieved namilan. According to Rabbi Yosi, even bidieved he's not yaitza. So who is the author of this Mishnah? Be'elamai must be Rabbi Yehuda. It has to be Tomar Rabbi Yehuda, and it must be that Rabbi Yehuda holds l'chatchila, a cheresh is allowed to do it, in which case a cheresh would be yaitza kriya shema and a cheresh would be yaitza megilah. So Gemara says Elohad the Tanya, then we have a different price. A person shouldn't say birchas hamazon in his heart, right? Meaning you have to say it. V'im beirach yatza. But if he did say it in his heart, then he's yatza. So then money, who's that Tana? Lo Rabbi Yehuda v'lo Rabbi Yosi. It's not Rabbi Yehuda, not Rabbi Yosi. Rabbi Yehuda afilu l'chatchila. He's allowed to do it even l'chatchila. So why is the Brisa saying to you that you can't bench in his heart l'chatchila? According to Rabbi Yehuda, he is allowed to do l'chatchila. And Rabbi Yosi afilu di'evet namilai. So b'di'evet he can't do it. Right? So
does this work if you have a suffix, if you benched or not?
What do you mean? That you would have benched in your heart?
Let's say you benched already. You think you benched, you're not sure. So you bench again in your heart.
You mean, and then there's no bracha levatala?
Yeah.
I don't know. We use that sometimes to be yaitza. If you're not sure about whether you missed Yalav Yavoy, so there are shitas that say you can be yaitza with chazoras hashatz. I don't remember any shitas that say that you would be yaitza birchas hamazon that way, right?
Yaakov,
Yeah.
when Shmuel Davis died in the car accident, Reb Shlomo was masakin in the yeshiva. Everybody has to bench from a bencher. Whether people still do it or not, or any of the young people know about it, I don't know. But that was a takana. That's what the takana he made.
Right, Taka. Yeah, I think I've seen Gedolim say that when there's tzaras, you bench from a bench. Yeah, but he's lachari. He's assuming that you're verbalizing the words, right? I'm assuming.
I guess so. Yeah, I mean,
Right.
You see that when Nebuch by Meron, some of the Gedolim said that. Yeah.
Today, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the question is Tamazai. Well, I don't know. I'm not sure, but it's interesting. The bottom Taisa says, where do you get the birchas hamazon needs to be verbalized, right? Shema, we understand. It says Shema, you have to hear, and Megillah, we also said a lashon, right? What was the pasuk? Niskarim v'nasim, right? But who says where do you get the birchas hamazon has to be verbalized? So Taisa says, he assumes that you learned it out from Kriya Shema, but he doesn't know how. He doesn't say how. Right? It was in Naskar V'Nasim. What do we say from Megillah? I don't remember what we said. Okay, fine. Anyway, so on the top of the Amud now, on the Chaf Amud Aleph, Lo'ilam Rabbi Yehuda, V'afil L'chatchila. Say, no, really, it's Rabbi Yehuda. And he says, even L'chatchila, a deaf person could read the Megillah. The like Kasha, and well, what's with these Kashas? Hadi Day, Hadi Rabbe. One is him, one is his Rebbe. The Tanya, Rabbi Yehuda, Aimer, Rabbi Shumal, Rabbi Lazar, and Azariah. Hakari Shema, Tzarach Sheyashmiya La'aznai. If somebody reads Shema, it has to be read out loud that it could be heard by his ear. Shenema Shema Yisrael Hashem Elkeinu Hashem Echad. Shmiya La'azlecha Masha'at Tamoitz V'Pilu. You have to let your ears hear what you're saying out of your mouth. Rameir Aimer, Asher Anoichi Mitzam Chayim Alav Avecha. What Hashem is commanding you today should be on your heart. Achar Kavanas Halev Hein Hein Advarim. He disagrees. He says it's kavanas halev. It goes after the heart. So as long as you know what you're saying, then you don't have to verbalize it. So you see that one is Rabbi Yehuda b'shem Rabbi Lazar ben Azariah, and one is Rabbi Yehuda himself. So hashdalas is lahachi. Right now you're saying, now you bring Rabbi Meir shita afilu time Rabbi Yehuda k'Rabbeis Yisrael. Now we could even say Rabbi Yehuda holds like Rabbi Lazar ben Azariah that lechatchila the person should hear Kriya Shema, and then megilah a cheresh too. V'adatani Yehuda brei Rav Shimon ben Pazi, and the shita or Yehuda brei Rav Shimon ben Pazi that he's allowed to separate truma, Rameir, that's going to be say, we're going to say that's going according to Rameir, right? So therefore, the Maskonas Advarim is a review that would hold that lechatchila a cheresh would be yaitze kriya shema and Megillah, and he would be megilah, he'd be mitze acherim too, right? Okay, that's a long shakulatai. Fine. Then Rabbi Yehuda machshir b'katan. Rabbi Yehuda is machshir a katan. So Rabbi Yehuda is the makel here. He allows a katan to read the Megillah. Yeah, the Tanan. Yeah. Or that's really the Tan. It's a Tanya, but it's whether it's Tanya or Tan. Right? So Amar Rabbi Yehuda katan ayisi. I was a katan. V'karisi l'malam Rabbi Tarfon. There's a Canaan Belud, and I read above Reb Tavran's Canaan Belud, meaning he read for them. Amrulai ein mevi and raya min katan. So he was trying to prove, you see from there, I read in front of Reb Tarfon and all the Zakanim. So clearly a katan is allowed. So Rabbi Yehuda is backing up his words with a Ma'aser Shehaya. Amrulai ein mevi and raya min katan. There's no proof from a katan. Right? You were a katan, therefore your testimony is not believable.
Why is it testimony? Maybe it's just telling you a mice that happened.
Welcome back. What?
Okay.
It's good to hear your voice, Zavi.
What?
I thought we were going to wait till after the dinner of Zev.
No,
Oh, Peretz, you didn't see what he put you down for. You covered.
I waited till after the siach dinner.
There you go. That passed already, Tucker. Yeah.
Who says?
Anyway.
I mean, it's not Adis.
It doesn't make a difference. So anything a katan says is not acceptable.
A Katan can't tell you. A Katan can't say anything.
Oh.
A mice said that happened. We don't. Right. Anyway.
Yeah, that's.
He wasn't a katan when he said it over.
Right.
Why did
That's
the
the
katan
chiddush.
read for him? Why did the katan read for them?
No, that's what he was trying to prove that it's because he's saying Rabbi Yehuda saying we allowed a katan. Why in the Maisa? Why did they allow it?
Yeah.
I don't know. It must be they held that a katan could read the Megillah. No.
Oh, that's what saying it's not a raya. Ain't being raya. So it means the
Well,
katan
that's
really
what we're just
can't
when
read
Aim
the
being
Megillah.
Rayim in a katan because we're saying it's not acceptable. What happened when a kid was a katan means it's not acceptable in a court of law. I don't even want to get into Inyana D'Yayma on that, but yeah, but that's what that's the din. What are you going to do? You can't change the
Is the
halach.
katan allowed to or not? So katan's
But
not
Rabbi
allowed.
Yehuda held yes. Rabbi Yehuda held yes, and he said I did it.
So then, what are they saying to him? They're not saying it to him then. So Amr Loi means they said to themselves. For you, okay, fine, you hold that, but we hold that it's also.
Rabbi Yehuda, right? Rabbi Yehuda said it over to the Tanakama, and he said I did it, and they said to him, who cares? You can't bring a raya from a katan. Finished.
Okay, so it's they're just l'shitasam. They're not saying according to him you're wrong.
They're saying, I don't know what they're saying. They're certainly saying whatever he's testifying that happened when he was a kid is not acceptable. Right? That's all. Let's see the next one. Satani Amar Rebbe, Katan Ayisi, Bekarisi Lamalam Rebbe Yehuda. And I read it in front of Rebbe Yehuda. So now this is different. He's saying I was a katan and I read it in front of Rebbe Yehuda. Now Rebbe Yehuda is the opinion that says a katan can read. So Amrullah ain't Rebbe and Rayim and Amata. You can't. Or you bring a raya for Rebbe Yehuda. He holds that it's mutter, right? That's like saying that you ate cholav stam in front of Rav Moshe, right? You see, it's a raya. You can eat cholav stam. What do you mean? You ate cholav stam in front of Rav Moshe. He's the one that mattered it. What kind of proof is that, right? You got to go in front of Samar Rebbe and eat cholav stam. That would already be a raya. Right, but that's essentially what went on here. So Gemara says, "V'leim Mavi and Rayim and a katan." Why are they going to Ein Mavi and Rayim and Amata? Say Ein Mavi and Rayim and a katan, because he was a katan
Some
also.
say it's problematic. Anyone you're going to bring a raya from is going to end up being a matir. So what do you mean Ein Mavi and Rayim and a matir?
No, meaning he's the Baldeya and the Machlokes.
I know, but whoever you're going to bring a raya
His
from
opinion.
ultimately is going to be
Good. No, you're bringing a raya that he has somebody else who holds of him.
No, everybody else is going to be Ein Mevi and Rayim and Akatan. Everybody else.
That's right. Well, that's going to be Gemara's next kasha. That's going to be Gemara's
That
next
is the kasha, yeah.
No, but it's not a raya. If Gershon, if a guy says, I read, there's a machlokes Rabbi Yehuda and the Tanakama, right? So then he goes and I says, I was in front of Reb Tarfon and I read the Megillah when I was a kid. So then that means if that's true, then Reb Tarfon held like Rabbi Yehuda. So now that opinion gets stronger, right? But when you say I read in front of Rabbi Yehuda, that opinion doesn't get any stronger. It stays the same because it's in front of the person who held that it's mutter. That doesn't strengthen that opinion. So then the Gemara says, why do you have to come on that ain't being rayim in a matter? Why don't you just say you don't bring a raya from a cotton?
In Gershon it says, Rabbi Tarfon Vizikanim, there could be 100 Tanoim who are in that minyan. We don't know.
Yeah, that's true. Right.
It still not a raya because he's a cotton. We don't care what the cotton says.
Yeah.
So what's the Gemara's shaila now? What's the Gemara's kasha?
No, so
it's a much better kasha to say ain't mevin rayim in a matzah than to say mevin rayim in a cotton.
Yeah, it's that's true. Why is the Gemara bringing the second story? The Maisa, why is the Gemara bringing the second story? Right? So Enochanami. So I don't know why the Gemara is bringing the second story. Either way, the Gemara asks, why don't you just say rayim in a cotton? The cotton yisa. One is that you were a cotton. Even if you would have been a gadol, right? Which then would have been the whole story. What if you would have been a gadol, would be no shaila, right? Okay, so I don't know exactly what that means. But even if you would have been a gadol,
it's a better kasha. Ein mevin rayim in a matzah is a better kasha than ein mevin rayim in a cotton.
Yeah, but Lamaisa, even if you were a gadol, it wouldn't work.
That's just a way of saying why it's a better kasha.
And a chanami. So, but that's just, you have to say that. Okay, whatever it is. Bottom line is that we don't have a cotton read. Although it's a derabanan. I once had it, Taka. One of the shuls here. Oh no, it was Pasha Zohar. I don't know, I've ever heard of a shul of a bar mitzvah boy reading the Megillah. Zohar. It comes up sometimes Pasha Zohar. Right? A kid's bar mitzvah is Pasha Zohar. So then Zohar could be a deraisa. So then that's a whole shaila. You have to figure out if the kid has Shtei Cyrus, doesn't have Shtei Cyrus. Yeah. Okay. Zok the Mishna. Yeah. Ain Karnas a Megillah. You're not allowed to read the Megillah. V'loy malin, and you can't do a bris. V'loy tevila, and you don't go to the mikvah, right? Which is going to be al tumas zav. We'll see in the Gemara. V'loy mazin, you don't do hazah, meaning when a person is tamei for tamei mei, so he has to have the efer chatas sprinkled on him on the third and seventh day. V'chein shemeres yom keneged yom loy titval, and a woman who's seeing irregular bleeding in the time that she's not supposed to see, which we get to in the Gemara. So all of those, you don't do it until Netzachama, right? Which is very interesting. And this comes up, this is Mamish in Yonah Diyama, because the net's now 7:20, right? I think tomorrow's net's is 7:20 here in New York, right? So now we get into the whole thing. Do the minyanim daven until 7 o'clock minyanim? Do they wait? Do they not wait? L'chatchila, bidieved. Right, so the lechatchila, it's interesting because the Gemara here does not mention davening, right? But it says achatane tzachama until there's netzachama, which Rashi says. What do you mean ad netzachama? Sheyotza misafik laila. What is netzachama? It went out from the safik laila. That's all netzachama is, because when the see on Amud Beis that meikar adin, the day starts at alois. Right, that's why when we start a tinus, we start a tinus at alois, because that's even though it's mamish pitch dark at alois, right? The day really starts at alois, but netzachama, that's a yotza safik laila. Okay, so all of these things you don't do lechatchila till netzachama. V'kulan she'asu misha'al ram hashachar kosher. But all these things that start from Amud hashachar, right, which is what we call dawn, which there's multiple opinions of when dawn is. The most popular one is that it's 72 minutes before nets, right? So then,
is that same as Mishiakir?
No, Mishiakir is later. Mishiakir is later than Alois. It comes out, yes, that's a good point on, right? That comes out, you can really daven Shachris before Zman Talis and Tefillin. Zman Talis and Tefillin is, according to most opinions, at least 20 minutes after dawn. But you're allowed to daven then. But Talis and Tefillin is later, right?
There was a minyan lechatchila Shavuos morning that the Gates of Ravs that's all used to go to, and Gates said because Alois is about 1:15 in Gateshead and Shavuos night. And Nets is about 5 o'clock in the morning. So instead of waiting to 4, they had a minion at 2 o'clock after Alois.
Yeah, interesting. That's interesting. Yeah, everything's
I'm in,
messed up
I'm
over
in.
there, right?
I'm in.
He's in for that one. 1:15 on Shavuos night. I don't even get
One
rolling.
second, one second. It's not a bad plan.
It's
The
not.
Tzeis Kachavim is 11:15.
Yeah,
So you
I'm
still
not-
have
I'm
to
not
daven
signing up for
after.
that.
You have to daven after Tzeis, eat your Suda, then get to the base medrash, learn 5 minutes, then you daven.
Gershon, maybe you should make a hotel program for Shavuos in Gateshead. It sounds like you might have a lot of customers. Right?
But not for Shavuos
Anyways.
and Batamas. That's a long kindness.
Okay. Oh, that's true. That's true. Anyways, right. So Rashi says on the Kulan Shasuv, the Aloisa Shachar Yamamahu. Aloisa Shachar, it's day. Avalafisha ain't a kol bekian boy, since not everybody's sure when Alois is, so tzrichan lahamten ad hanetzacham, which Taka brings into, like we were discussing this
Why don't-
afternoon. Yeah, what were we saying?
Why don't we change it? Where everybody's
Correct.
a bucky now.
Right.
Everybody has a smartphone. Everybody's a bucky.
Correct, right? That's mamish the shaila. Does the Mitzvos change the halacha? Nobody's confused nowadays. Nobody. You look at your take out your. Although, based on the amount of people that ask me for zmanim, and I say, go check my zmanim. Don't worry, asking me the zmanim. I'm not such a tzaddik like Rav Moshe who used to answer the phone, tell people when shkia was. Right. I tell them, I say, no, you could go to my zmanim. You're right. You don't need me. But anyway, you're right. Everybody has my zmanim. Nobody's going to be confused. Nobody. Other than that, it's pitch dark outside. Other than that, it's you start davening shachris. But yeah, and I don't know why we don't change it. Even if you don't change it, but the question is like on like this next week or 2 weeks, as this man gets later, at least that. Who cares? Why should you have to wait for the Nets?
How is anybody davening 6 o'clock this week?
It's a problem. This next
The
few weeks,
people who
it's
don't have to, it's a problem. Yeah.
yeah, it's a problem. Or you mean what they do? They try to do is they start shachris and they daven until yishtabach, and then they put on the talis and tefillin after yishtabach. Some in Yonim daven the whole thing, and then with talis and tefillin without a bracha, and then after aleinu, they'll move the tefillin and they'll make the bracha. Then what are you going to do? You got to go to work. I mean, it's not. It's a problem. Anyways, okay. So zog di Gemara minala. So how do we know that the Megillah has to be read during the day? It says these days have to be mentioned and done. It says yomim b'laylalay. You'll do it during the day and not at night. So when I ask, maybe this is a kasha Rabbi Shua ben Levi. Don't Rabbi Shua ben Levi chayav adam likus Megillah b'layla v'lashnoisa b'yoyim. He says you chayav to read it at night, and then a second time during the day. This Mishna just says you have to read it during the day. It doesn't say anything at night. So it's a kasha. So Gemara answers, ki ketana ad yom. No, this is not talking about the night. We're talking about the daytime Megillah. The daytime Megillah can't be before Nets, right? But there's also a nighttime reading of the Megillah according to Rabbi Shua ben Levi. Right? Fine. Okay. Fine. How do you know you don't do a bris till Nets? You have to give a bris on the 8th day. Again, also b'yoyim. V'loy tovlim, v'loy mazin. Right? They don't do tevila and hazah. D'chsiv v'hiza atar ala tamei b'yoyim hashvi. The Torah has to sprinkle onto the tamei person on the 7th day. V'iskish tevila lahazaya, and we make a hekish between hazaya and tevila. Just like tevila, he has to be during the day. So hazah also needs to be during the day. Fine. Then v'chein shemeres yom keneged yom le'titvala chatanit zecham. So for this again, we need a little bit of a background. So you have a regular, I mean, l'chayr, this applies to a zav too, but the Gemara is referring to zavah, which is that a woman gets a regular time in the month, and then you have 11 days in between cycles. That if she sees dam, then that's abnormal. So if she sees for 1 day, she's what we call a shemeres yom keneged yom. She sees 1 day or 2 days, then she has to wait 1 clean day, and then she goes to the mikvah. If she sees 3 days, then she becomes a zavah, and then she has to wait 7 clean. So we're talking about the first time. So she sees when she's not supposed to. So she has to wait a clean day, and then she goes to the mikvah. So she also only goes during the day. So it says pshita, right? We just said a minute ago, tevila is during the day. So why are you saying a separate category of shemeres yom keneged yom? She's no different than any other tevila that should be done during the day. It's a pshita. Ma'ishna shemeres yom keneged yom mikol chayve tevilas. Why is it any different than all other chayvei tevilas? The Gemara says, no, it's true. You need to tell that case. Shows up. You would think it's like the first Riyah of a Zav. The Riyah Rishona shows up is Kishel Balkari. And the Riyah Rishona of a Zav has a hekesh to a Balkari. Right, this is the Torah of Zav, and somebody Shicha Zera came out of him. Ma Balkari Toivel B'Yom, just like a Balkari. Toivel's during the day, right? There's no clean day involved. So Balkari goes right away, goes to the mikveh, and then he's Torah. Hanami Litva B'Yom. So therefore, a woman Shemeres Yom Keneged Yom should also go during the day. But the woman can't go during the day, right? Why? That the days of her zayva, of this interim cycle here, this interim time, so it has to be like nida. Right? But the problem is that if she goes at night, right, then she'll see she'll I'm sorry, she'll be shomer part of the night, which will be a portion of the day, right? So they're going to think that that's the part of the day that she needs to wait, and then she's going to go to the mikveh. Kamash Valon, Kimin Debai Svira, since she has to actually count a clean day, so then on Talmud Beis now Svira be Yamamahu. So counting is during the day, right? So since she's seeing at an abnormal time, so it's an abnormal bleeding, therefore she needs a clean day. Clean means daytime, right? So the same thing, Shemeres Yom, 1 second. So Shemeres Yom Keneged Yom also needs a day, not a night. So that's what we have to specify here, not to think that she can go right away at night. What do you say?
Is this something also that technically could change because of the Metzias? Sphira means bedika. Bedika back then could only be by Yom because there was no light.
Yeah, but that's the reason. But the Maisa, the pasuk says Sphira is during the day. At least it's mashma like that.
It's mashma. Is it a drush? It's not even a drush in neither. It's a mashmos for crowd.
Enochanami. Yeah, enochanami. Yeah, that's. I mean, what Gershon is saying is that basically, how come a woman, when she's during the 7 clean days, only checks during the day, not at night? Right? It's just a technical reason. Svira is like this Gemara is saying. Svira for a woman or a man who's tameh and needs to wait 7 days is done during the day. The way they do the svira is by checking themselves. That's how it works. That's what is a machlokes, whether it needs to be every day, just one on day 1, one on day 7, because that's the beginning of the svira and the end of the svira, or you just need one according to some opinions, right? Okay, so that's the bottom line, that you need one during the day. Fine. The Gemara continues, if you do any of these mitzvahs that are meant to be done during the day, but you do it and you're supposed to do it from nets. But if you did it from dawn, then you're okay. How do you know? Hashem called the day, the light, he called it day. L'meir uba karu yom. He called as it gets light, he called it day. So meaning that even though it's not fully light yet, which it clearly is not by Alois, right? It's the middle of the dark, but as long as the process of daylight is starting, that's called Yom.
When does that process start?
What is about what?
Maybe Alois, is that process of Alois or late?
Alois. Alois is the process of it starting to become light. That's called day. Right? That's what he's saying. That's called day.
How do we know that?
Oh, I mean, where did we get that it's from Alois? I guess that's just a scientific thing, that's when the first rays, right? First rays of whatever, even though
we know it's like.
That's how they know. The Chachamim said that's the beginning.
Is like that? The
Yeah.
Know by the Metzias. The Chacham dictated the Metzias.
No, they knew the Metzias. I think they knew the Metzias. They could dictate the Metzias too. But here they knew when however their cheshvan made it, that they know when the night starts going away and the day comes.
I'm asking you, why is it halachically called day? Because the first rains start to come. I'm saying
yes, yeah. Even though you don't see it, you mamish don't see it, right?
So
listen, we make fun of Hasidim that they're davening mincha pitch dark outside, right? But the bottom line is, Rabbeinu Tam holds you could daven mincha till an hour after shkia, even though it's pitch dark. Certainly in the winter, it's pitch dark, right? The same thing. It's the same thing. What can you do, right? Yeah, we're all wise guys. We think we're so smart that see them a bunch of idiots and they're davening when it's pitch dark.
I
But
don't know.
Maisa,
Listen,
what?
Rav Aaron had certain things till after Shkia, what's considered Lila, what's considered, I mean, there is certain neither right away, you don't, it's not exactly Shkia.
To the Dairaisas, we try to be machmashkia.
I understand, but what's
But
called
that's not like Rabbeinu Tam. That's not like Rabbeinu Tam.
so
The
I mean,
Maisa, all those shitas are not like Rabbeinu Tam. They're not. Which is the majority in Shulchan Aruch goes with Rabbeinu Tam. Anyway, so that's what it is. They knew the Metzias, I think. That's why I understand it. So the Gemara says, so if he's saying that he called the dark night, so that means it should be considered night right by Shkia.
Comes from other Mauritian, no?
I mean, because when the world started getting darker on him.
Yeah, he thought the world was going to be destroyed. So the first time he saw a ray of sunshine, it was Gavaldic. That's daytime.
I guess. And if there's no lights, then you can see it pretty good. I don't know.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. So but we know that until Tseis is not Laila, right? Meaning the Gemara says you can't have it two ways. If you're saying that Vayikra Likim La'or Yoim, so that means that day starts at Alois because it's the process of getting lighter. So then the process of getting darker certainly starts at Shkia. So then night should start at Shkia. This is very good for all those that make minyanim for Mincha Ma'ariv by the Shkia. This is very good for those guys that do that. This Gemara. The problem is the Gemara gives a teretz. But right now the Gemara is saying, why don't we call it Laila by Shkia? Why do you have to wait till Tzeis? So Elohim Rav Zeira Mehacha. There's a different passage. It says, "V'anachnu oisim b'melacha." We did work. V'chetziyam machzikim b'ramachim. Half of them holding what do you call it? A roimach, a spear. From Alois till Tzeis. So you see the pasuk here calls Alois the morning and Tzeis the night. So that's why the day starts at Alois and finishes at Tzeis. And it says and then it was night. It was the night. It's the night for Mishma. My v'aymer. What do you need the v'aymer for? Right? You would think that Allah from Amud Shachar is not a lot, not day. And when the sun sets is considered night. And these guys, these people, these workers, right? So they did it earlier, and they came earlier, but they didn't have to. Said no, we were on watch at night, and during the day we worked. So you clearly see that day starts at Alois and ends at Seis. So whichever way you cut it, it comes out that yes, it is two different cheshbainas. The day starts at Alois, even though it's pitch dark, and it ends at Seis.
Didn't we have this brachas?
Yes.
Same suk in the Gemara. So
yeah, very good enough, Toli. What?
This is a different ending.
doing it
The Gemara
again?
doesn't say like this in brachas.
Yes, right. So I don't think the Gemara comes out like this in brachas.
No, the
But I
Gemara comes
would
out that
remember.
Vayikra means appointed.
right, how could it come the same? Two different places, two different things.
I mean, I don't know why
They
does the Gemara
start-
need to repeat itself. You're saying?
Yeah, but also it's coming. It's the day. The Gemara is going to come out. The day starts. Day ends at a certain time. Coming out two different places. No.
Yeah.
No, it's the same time in both places, but the maskana of the Gemara, why, is different.
The source.
gonna
of the
ask-
Gemara, the source is different, right?
Well, all the source and the Taitra of Vayikra. Taitra of
Yeah.
Vayikra is different in brachas than it is here.
Mm-hmm.
Does that
Yeah.
mean this is the maskana?
I think so, as opposed to what?
As opposed to the Gemara and brachas?
I don't remember the Maskana and the Gemara and Brachas. What do you- I don't know. I mean, I know that the Maskana and Gemara.
Jacob,
and
now
Brachas
we
is
don't
Alois.
feel so bad, Baruch Hashem.
That's right. That's right. Good.
The Gemara and brachas said that Vayikra means he appointed Oyer to be Yoim. It wasn't
Without
even day
that-
when he said it. It wasn't daytime. It was nighttime when the Eibishter said it.
Well, we don't go with that. We don't go with that shot anyways here.
Right, that's what I'm saying. But does that mean that this is the maskana or just this different shot?
Yeah, I don't know. The Maskana is for sure. The day starts at Alois and night is safe. That's for sure.
That's
right.
the maskana in both places. I'm just
Yeah,
curious
right.
if Taich in the words Vayikra Lekim La'er Yoim What's the taich?
The
Here
chayr,
it's
it's like
different
in
than it was
brachas.
there.
I would think it's in like in brachas. That's what I think, because here the Gemara slugs it up. Anyways, also it's worthwhile to point out that the machlokes, when you have the Magen Avram Zman and the Graz Zman for Zman Tefila, Zman Kriya Shema, that's all based on are we cheshboning from alois or from nates, right? So now you would think, okay, so the Gra is always the later Zman, right? And the Magen Avram, yeah, I don't know about England. Forget England, okay? In the normal places, the Gra is always the later Zman, and the Magen Avram is the earlier Zman. So you would think that the Gra Zman starts from alois. I'm sorry, from the nets, but really it's the opposite, right? So then basically what the cheshbon is, because we calculate the day split in 12. So the question is, do we split the day from alois till shkia, or do we go from nets till
Days.
right, or nets till tseis, right? So that can really change, or that can change that, or alois to tseis, right? So that meaning it could change. It can really change the hours, right? Because alois to tseis is a long time. It's a lot longer. Your day is a lot longer. So you split that 12 ways, and then your zman gets extended a lot. So if that's, and then you have to add it on to whether you're adding it to alois or you're adding it on to nates, right? So that's really where the gra and the Magen Avram become a big. That's where you get a big difference and a big discrepancy in the zmanim. Whether the day hours, do we really count the day hours from alois or from nets? From this Gemara, it sounds like you should count it from alois, right? Daytime starts at alois, not at nets, right? But okay, whatever it is, but that's fine. Okay, Zok the Mishnah. So this time a kasha that the Mefarshim asked here is, why did they split this Mishnayos? Because this seems to be an extension, right? It says Kol hayoim kasha l'kriyas megilah. The whole day is kasha l'kriyas megilah, right? Now, what does that mean? So Rashi says, even though we know reason makdim in the mitzvahs, so the bottom line is just to do the mitzvah as soon as you can in the morning. But lamaisa, it's kosher a whole day, right? So for whatever reason you don't get around to reading the Megillah till the afternoon, so then it's fine, right? The only thing you what? Yeah, lechatchila. It's lechatchila.
Maybe Rashi telling you not lechatchila.
Yeah, but reason makdimin is not going to tell you that it's usher. Reason makdimin tells you that's
no, it's motor, but it's bidieved.
I don't know if it's bidieved. Bidieved, I think, is too strong.
Not bidieved. It's not bidieved. If you make a bris to 11 o'clock in the morning, it's bidieved bris.
So what is Rashi saying? Reason makdimin.
Because there's a bonus.
It has to do with chatchil and bidieved. It has nothing to do with chatchil and bidieved.
Why not?
Because it doesn't. Why not?
You didn't answer the question.
Wait. Bris is
Look at this. Everybody
regular.
tuned in for Saturday Night Live. Look at this.
It's a totally different thing.
Why is Rashi saying?
Okay, but no. Okay, can I be Miyashiv? Can I be Miyashiv, the steer between the father-in-law and the son-in-law? Even though they have a few weeks bottled up over here that we haven't had this, because of Darche. What should we do? But anyway, so I'll be Miyashiv, the steer. I think Zrizin Makdimin is a bonus, meaning you're yoitzer the whole day. You want to be a Zrizin Makdimin lemitzvos, okay, but it's hard to say Zrizin Makdimin is a chiyuv.
I didn't say the chiv. I just said it's a
no, but to call it bidieved to do it a whole day means you're making it a chiyuv, meaning it's not a bidieved, it's a lechatchila to do all day. You want to do a cherry on top, do Zrizin Makdimin. That's the way I would put it.
What do you get from cherry on the top?
A mitzvah. No, it's reason makdimin the mitzvah.
It's a bigger hinder. What is it?
You get more credit. You get more schar.
You
get more schar.
It's a hinder. Is it a hinder? Yeah.
Yes, it's a hider, but not a bidieved. Not a lechatchila bidieved. It's a hider. I would say it's called a hider.
I don't know.
Some
Now,
especially by bris.
What?
Some especially by bris milah. It's not the regular reason magdimin. It's the yashkim around the biker.
Well, correct, but it's a very interesting thing. So we all say it's reason makdim, you got to do the bris in the morning.
Yeah, but for Yachvashes, as a Satmar Rebbe said, Yachvashes chamoyroi. Okay, who told you when he did it right away? He did a lot of zachin before that.
It's right, but it's also an interesting thing. So everybody says bris in the morning, reason makdim, yeah. How come nobody makes the bris by nets? Right? No, it's reason makdim, yeah.
Because no one would show up. Because no one would show up.
Exactly. Oh, so now that's already a good shiloh. So now what's more important, Zrizin Makdimin or Roivam?
Jacob, you know why? Because one guy went home and told his wife that she has to be ready with the baby at 4:00 in the morning. She told him I'll kill you.
Okay, so that could be, it's a Bikuach Nefesh, that could be, right? But the bottom line is a shayla. Should you do Zrizin Makdimin or Roivam? You make your bris at nets, you're gonna have 10 people there. You make it 9 o'clock in the morning, you'll also have 10 people there. You make it at 7:30, then you'll have more people. So what's more important? Zrizin
If you
Makdimin
make
or
it at
Roivam?
night, that's even more.
If you made it at night, yeah, before the Shkia in the summer, yeah, in a Chanami, which I think most poskim are of the opinion that Roivam is better than Zrizin Makdimin. That's not the minig in the belt.
To do Vachnach, the bigger than the bris.
Well, that's because the Olam's around, like Eliyahu said, the Olam's around at night.
So that I got that on the last bris.
You did. That's true. That's true. You did. You had one less Roivam though.
Yeah, I didn't have a sandik, but I had a bris.
All right. I'm sorry about that. He's never going to let me live this down. But all right, yeah, fine. But anyway, so that's what it is. So Kol Hayom is kosher l'kris, but however, Agav, just to throw this zev could be, you're not allowed to eat, right? Everybody's so busy. Megillah by night, we fast the whole time of Esther, and everybody's eating. Not allowed to eat before the Megillah. You're not allowed to eat before the Megillah during the day too. So if you're going to be running around delivering shalach manas and all that, you can't eat. Same din. It's the same din at night as it is during. If anything, it's more strong during the day. Well, whatever.
What does that mean?
You're saying this Chabad that does Megillah on the hour, the whole day, all those people are not...
Well, I don't know if they eat.
Naftali, we're not going into that now, okay? We know you go here for ice cream. We're okay with it. And
I'm making sure.
Anyways, okay.
Isn't it a little more kal if you have a fixed time?
Tiago, you got 10 minutes for your other shear.
I know. Yeah. What are you saying, Gershon?
Isn't it a little more kal if you have a fixed time that you're going to hear it? As far as
that
eating is concerned?
maybe, but you don't have a fixed time because if you're doing it a whole day. The most shul doing in the morning. So if you're not,
right.
It could be nageya to women. It could be nageya to women, right? The women a lot of times don't hear it till much later. They want to eat breakfast. So the thing is, then you say, okay, maybe women are not as chayiv, but really they are chayiv. Whatever. It's a sugya. Fine. Speaking about women, the next line in the Mishnah, every Rosh Chodesh, I get this. Ulekriyas halal. Halal is also a whole day. Women ask in the afternoon, can I still read halal before shkia? Can I do it? Yes, halal is a whole day. Uletkiyas shayfer, tilas lulav, tilas hamusafin, right? That's another interesting one. Musaf, right, also could be done a whole day, right? But by the way, once we're talking about women are not, it's debatable at most if women are chayiv to daven musaf. Debatable at most. They're chayiv to daven shachris. So the women go to shul on Shabbos and they're up to musaf, so they daven musaf, they don't daven shachris. That's wrong. I heard this from Rabbi Yisrael Reisman. It was a good, right? They should be davening shachris, not musaf. But if they want to daven musaf too, because they hate. But whatever, they can daven that a whole day. What do you say?
Does the not eating apply to all of these things? Not eating before them?
Pashtas, yes. Some of them are even deraisa, yeah. At least lechatchila. If you send again, if you said a reminder, all those.
What do you say?
Right?
If a woman comes by musaf time, she should daven shachas, not musaf.
Correct.
What's the chiluk for her?
Because musaf is really, it's a zman groma and nothing to do with nashim.
Yeah, they have only with chiv and tefila. Who cares if it's musaf?
They do it. No, the chi of tefila. If you hold the chayiv and tefila, they have to do what the Rabbanon said, which is they have to daven shachris.
No. Okay.
Yeah.
Happy we don't daven musaf on Purim, so it's not negaya to this masechta.
Yeah. All right. Ulam musafin. Right. So and the carbon musaf levidu yaparim to do vidu and parim when the kohen gadol, if they make a mistake, right, and they paskin incorrectly, so they have to do a video and parim levidu meiser, and when you bring meiser, you also do a video, right? Ulevidu yom kippurim and the video in Yom Kippur, the smicha. For smicha, when the kohen gadol when the kohen does the smicha on the carbon, the shchita letnufa, right? Shchita tnufa is waving the karbanos, la agasha, that's bringing to bring the utensils full of the meats to the mizbeach, right? The kmitza, that's to do that's what Mordechai was teaching on the day of Purim, on the day of Pesach, actually, when Haman came to get him. That's the kmitza, that's the handful of laktaris, l'melika. is doing the bird, ula kabbalah to be makabel the blood, ula zaya to sprinkle. It's interesting. The Mishnah goes through all this. What do you just say? All the avodas beis hamikdash should be done during the day, and that's all. Ula shkaya saita, the saita gets her drink during the day. Ula rifa egla. That's when you find a dead person, so you have to bring a calf and you have to shecht it. You're not shecht, you break its neck. Ula taras amatzaira, and for being matara atzayra, that's it. So those are all things that are kosher the entire day. Kalalayla kosher l'ktzira saimer, right? The aimer is cut down at night. Ula hektar chalav ve'varim. That's when they bring all the fats of the animals on the mizbeach a whole night. So that's mutter a whole night. Ze'aklav. Davar shemitzvos b'yoyim kosher kalayoyim. If the mitzvah is during the day, it's kosher a whole day. Davar shemitzvos b'layla kosher kalalayla. So you have the whole night to do it. Minalan. So the Gemara says Minalan. How do you know that you're supposed to read the Megillah during the day? Like we said before, right? It's during the day. The kriyas ahalo. We also had this one in the first Amud in this parak. From the east, from when the sun rises until it goes down. This is the day that Hashem made. On the first day, so tevilas musaf is the same as musaf, like we learned, right? In the Shamas the Shalma Parim Svasenu, right? By davening, verbalizing the karbanos, it's as if we actually bring the karbanos. Ulavidei parim, the Yalef kapara kaparim, Yom Kippurim. The Tanya Gabi Yom Kippurim, v'chipe ba'adai v'ad beisai. It says that the Kohen does a kapara for himself and his people in his house. The kapara is it's talking about doing a kapara of words, meaning vidui. Right? The kapara b'yamamahu, and kapara is also during the day. Right? On this day, there's going to be a kapara for you. Fine. It says that I got all the hektish out of my house. Right? That Hashem commands you. That's the waving of the karbanos. The day. To bring it close to the mizbeach, the iskish letnufa. As minchas hakanois, he takes from the woman the mincha, the carbon mincha that she brings from the jealousy. And he waves it and he's makriv it, right? As Bnei Yisrael, the day that he commanded Bnei Yisrael. So it's b'yayim.
Is that a play on words?
What do you mean?
Is that a pun? The Yom Tzavaisa means on the day that he commanded them. The Yom has nothing to do with the mitzvah. Are we trying to say there's a pun here? The B'Yom, I commanded you to do it. Not the B'Yom, I commanded you.
Well, yeah, you also have to figure out how that works on all four things. Malika, Kmitz, Aktar, and Azaya.
Right, so too.
Yeah, meaning it's got to go on all four. Right? Okay, so Rashi goes through exactly how you learn it. Now, so the question is, why don't you learn Shechita from this? That's Taisvis Kashi. Right? Why don't you learn out Shechita from that pasuk? Okay. Final Ashkaya Saita, Asya Taira Taira. It says Taira Taira Ksiv, Achava Asay Lacha Kayin Es Kala Taira Hazais. Ksiv, Hasam Apia Taira Sheiruch Avala Mishpat. Right? Asher Yom Lucha. Right? That's how it goes. Ma Mishpat B'Yoim, Afkan B'Yoim. So just like Mishpat is during the day, so this is also during the day. Let's just finish these limudim once we're at it. Larifas Agala, Amrit Berabiane, Kaparak Siba Kikachim. Lutaras Mitzaira, the Siv Zaisti, Ataras Mitzaira, B'Yoim Tarasai. Everything that says B'Yoim. Kala Laila Kashal Ktsiras Aimer, and the night is kosher for cutting down the Aimer, the Amar Mar, Ktsiru, Sfira B'Laila, Bava B'Yoim. The cutting down of the grain and Sfiras at night, which is why we do Sfira at night, in case anybody was wondering. One of the mitzvahs that we did, that's Sfiras at night. So it comes out, we got a nice confusion from tonight's daf. Sfira for women, for taharas during the day. Sfira for Sfira, I guess what we call Sfira is at night. Right?
The first words, an Amud ago. The first words on the last Amud, the first words on this Amud.
Okay, very good, Taka. Right? Okay, fine. We'll wait so parrots can make a l'chaim tomorrow, so we won't finish the parrot now. All right. Good talk.
Thank you. I was getting nervous.
What do you say, Peretz?
I was getting nervous. I still have to drive.
I know. That's why I figure we'll leave that for you for tomorrow.
Just say a good yard.
You always say a good talk, a good yard. It's a good feel. Everybody should feel good. Oh, a good yard. I'm sorry. It's New Year's. You're right. I apologize. I forgot. What should I tell you? I forgot.
It's okay. It's a day late. It's okay.
Yeah, we all forgot.
Yeah. Baruch Hashem. It's a megilah when it's on the Shabbos. You don't have to feel any of this.
Really?
Whatever.
I don't know if
I heard fireworks last night.
Fireworks at 12 o'clock, Siakov.
Yeah, I heard the fireworks. Yes, I heard the
I thought the
fireworks.
We hope it was fireworks.
Shooting.
No, it was fireworks. I saw them right out the
There you
window.
go. All right. So I'm going to log off so we can log back in here. Okay. All right.
Good luck, everybody.
Good luck. Bye-bye.